Eli, you're an avid cyclist. You mentioned to me earlier. What kind of issues do you, as a cyclist, want to see the city deal with? Okay, yeah, I know that they're coming around. I know one of the city councilmen, and I thank them for it. Went to a conference in Austin. I understand Austin has a very good, bicycle community, and they work together with the city to try to, prevent accidents and the safety issue. One of the things that I have as a cyclist, one of the issues that I have pedaling around Denton, is that I would like less bikes on the street and more bikes on the sidewalk. I mean, it's just common sense. Like, the more far apart you have, two colliding vehicles, the chances are that they're not going to collide. What I'm thinking is the sidewalks. I'm trying to see if there's a way that we can use the sidewalks both for pedestrian use as well as for cycling use. Perhaps maybe widening them a little bit, or if not widening, just, a line right in between them, so one side will be the pedaling one, the other one would be the pedestrian one, and we can pretty much use the sidewalk, both the bicycles and the pedestrians, because if we as cyclists are on the street, the more chances are we're going to get hit. And I've had some pretty good close calls. Yeah, very, very close calls. So I'd rather have a close call with a pedestrian, somebody say, hey, get out of the way right there, rather than me, under a semi going like, trying to, make it through life. But I think that that's one thing that I would like to work on, is if we can try to share the sidewalks, both pedestrian and the cyclist, and I think that Denton would go for that. Pete Camp, a very popular councilwoman in town, she is. Born and raised in Denton, and she seems to have done well in past races. Yes. You're coming off not a great performance in your council District 1 race. What's your strategy for overturning the tide that seems to be pushing in her direction? Right. Well, my strategy is, the first thing that I looked at is if anybody will go online to the City of Denton and look at our organizational chart, you will see that all the departments, or all the people that work in the different departments within the City of Denton, and then as it goes up, the flow chart, then you have department heads, and I guess it's assistant managers, goes up to the main city manager, and then it goes to the city attorney or something, and then it goes up to the city council. But above the city council is a beautiful word that I like, and the word is citizen. And we as the citizens, or the council, should be, that's what the flow chart is. The council is responsible, to answering for the citizens. I was looking at Pete Camp's website not too long ago, and she has a slew, 10, 15 organizations or things that, she's involved in. That's great, that's great to be involved. But it seems to me that in her perception, she seems to be more, I guess, accountable to those entities rather than what she should be accountable for and answering to, and that is the citizen. And again, if you just look at both of them, it doesn't take genius to say it's like, something's wrong here. But that's what I would like to challenge her on. And I did call her late last week, and I did challenge her to a public debate. I haven't heard back from her yet. Gotcha. Yeah, and if you all know Pete Camp, tell her I'm still looking for her, and I'm waiting for her to tell me the location and the time, and I will be there with bells and whistles to to tell her how the cow eats the cabbage, as we say here in Denton. I think Denton will host it for you. All right, good. I've got to ask you, I mentioned on the website that you have the longest name out of all the candidates. Yes. Tell us, what's up with the AKA portion of your name? How did it go from Eliborio Beltran to Eli Gemini? Right. Well, I was going to go for Eliborio Beltran de las Pencas del Nopal Rumpelstiltskin, but I thought maybe that might be a little long. No, but what happened is that Eliborio Beltran is my birth and legal name, and I chose Eli Gemini because it has a nice ring to it. I'm also in the film industry. I'm also an actor as well. And one thing that I learned in the business is to keep our personal life separate from our public life. And one of the ways that I've learned to do that is to select a pseudonym or a name
for one purpose, and then have your name for the other one. For example, Madonna, when she goes to court or does whatever and stuff, her name is Madonna Shoshone, blah, 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 blah. So she has that name, but then she has, her public persona name. And with the Eli Gemini, I just felt that my parents were born and raised in Mexico, and Spanish is my primary language. So I felt that by being, having a bilingual, type of platform, that people would see me more, I guess, more welcoming to, I guess, the English-speaking people as well as the Spanish-speaking people, because I speak both languages fluently, know a little bit of French and an American Sign Language as well. So communications, I'm a former communication disorders major as well. So that's why I chose the name, and hopefully it'll, bring me some more votes, and we can get the word out to start bringing change to Denton.
Finally, Eli, what do you love about Denton? What do you love about this town?
Well, I'm one of those students that, was going to come to school here and just kind of go and, do my thing, somewhere else. What started happening was that as a journalist, the stories were literally almost just falling in my lap. Most big cities, the investigative broadcast journalists, is digging here and there. In Denton, they're just kind of like, coming over to me, and I was like, hey, I think that I would be a fool, to leave so early rather than try to work with, the beautiful people that we have here in Denton to try to, fix the problems that we have now, because Denton is a great town, and I love Denton. Again, I could have left many years ago, but I didn't want to, because I know that we have a lot of potential here in Denton. We have a lot of potential, to change things, and, I want all of us to be proud of Denton. And I think we'll get there. We'll get there eventually, but it's going to take a lot of hard work, particularly in the part of local governmental entities, particularly the city of Denton and Denton County. Yeah.
Well, there you have it for the ThinkDenton.com. It's Eliborio Beltran, a.k.a. Eli Gemini, running for at-large place 5 against Pete Camp in the Denton City Council elections on May 8th. If you haven't done so already, deadline to register to vote in the city of Denton is April 8th. So get online. We've got some info on our website about that as well. Thank you, Eli, for your time.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
'Cause he gets up in the morning, and he goes to work at 9, and he comes back home at 5:30, gets the same train every time. 'Cause his world is built on punctuality, it never fails, and he's all